You've probably heard of it, right? The Secret. It was this massive book and film that just took over the world, promising this one powerful key to getting anything you could ever want in life. Well, today, we're going to break it all down. We're diving into The Secret and its big idea, the law of attraction. So it all kicks off with this really simple but kind of deep question. Have you ever looked around and wondered, why do some people just seem to have it all figured out? You know, they're always successful, they seem happy, while other people just constantly seem to be struggling. Well, that exact question is what started the whole journey for the author of The Secret. And for the author, this wasn't just some random thought experiment. No, this question came from a really tough time in her own life, a personal crisis that, believe it or not, led to an absolutely life-changing discovery. Let's go back to 2006. The author, Rhonda Byrne, was at rock bottom. I mean, she was dealing with huge financial problems, the daily pressure was just crushing her, and she was desperate for an answer. Her search wasn't for some casual self-help tip. She was hunting for a fundamental secret to success that she felt like everyone else already knew. So her journey really unfolded in these 3 stages. It all started with that crisis, that moment of pure desperation that lit a fire under her. It pushed her to start digging, to study the lives of the most successful people throughout history. And as she did, she found this incredible common thread, this one powerful idea they all shared. And that single discovery, well, that became the global phenomenon we all know as The Secret. So, what was it? What was this big secret, this powerful common thread she found? Well, it's the whole reason we're here today. It's the core principle of this whole thing, the law of attraction. At its core, the law of attraction is actually a super simple idea. It's all about focus. The theory is that whatever you pour your energy and attention into, and this is key, whether it's positive or negative, that's what you're going to get more of in your life. Basically, like attracts like. Think of it like a two-way street. If your mind is constantly worried, always thinking about fear and what could go wrong, the theory says you're actually going to attract situations that make those fears come true. But on the flip side, if you can lock your focus onto your goals, your dreams, your desires, you start pulling in the opportunities and the people you need to make them happen. And hey, this idea that your thoughts can shape your reality, it's not brand new. Even Albert Einstein touched on it with this quote. He's basically saying your imagination isn't just for daydreaming. It's like a movie trailer for what you can actually bring into your life. Okay, so that's the theory. Sounds pretty cool, right? But what about in the real world? Does it actually work? Let's take a look at some pretty incredible stories from people who swear by this mindset. Probably one of the most famous examples is the actor Jim Carrey. Now, long before he was this huge comedy superstar that we all know, back when he was a struggling actor just trying to get by, he was already using this principle with an incredible amount of focus. And he didn't just have some vague dream like, oh, I want to be famous. No way. He had a very, very specific and pretty audacious number in mind for his first big Hollywood paycheck. And get this, he didn't just think about it. He made it real. He literally wrote himself a check for $10 million, put a date on it 5 years in the future, and carried it around in his wallet every single day. It was this constant physical reminder of the future he was creating. And the craziest part? Right around the time that check was set to mature, he landed his role in Dumb and Dumber and was paid, you guessed it, $10 million. Wild, right? And it's not just Jim Carrey. You hear stories like this from so many successful people. Oprah Winfrey talks all the time about how visualizing a better life helped her escape a really difficult childhood. Will Smith, his whole career is built on this absolute, unshakable belief that if he can see it in his mind, he can make it happen. The common thread is always that powerful, focused belief. Okay, so hearing these stories is super motivating. But the big question is, how can you actually start using this yourself? Well, The Secret lays out a few practical exercises that make up your own personal attraction toolkit. The process is actually pretty straightforward. First up, the vision board. You literally surround yourself with pictures of your goals so you can't possibly ignore them. Step 2 is affirmations. This is where you actively start rewiring your brain by saying powerful, positive statements about yourself over and over. And finally, number 3, visualization. This is the big one. It's the practice of truly feeling the emotions of success as if it's already happened. This whole toolkit really stands on a classic idea, one that was captured perfectly by the author Napoleon Hill decades ago. It all comes back to this: belief is the starting line. If you can't even imagine the possibility, if you don't truly believe it, you're never going to take the steps needed to make it real. But, and this is a really important but, applying this isn't just about sitting on your couch and wishing for things. To actually make this work, there are some really common mistakes and pitfalls you have to avoid. Okay, please remember these 3 things. First, visualization doesn't replace action, it's meant to inspire action. You can't just visualize a promotion, you have to do the work that earns you that promotion. Second, you have to be patient. Real, significant change doesn't happen overnight. And finally, and this might be the most important one, you have to focus on what you want, not what you don't have. For example, if you're constantly focused on being in debt, you're just attracting more debt. By the way, we talk about these nuances and go way deeper on topics like this in a more conversational way over on our Spotify podcast, so definitely check that out if you want to explore this more. And that's really the heart of The Secret. It's this idea that challenges us to stop seeing our thoughts as just thoughts, and to start seeing them as the actual tools we use to build our reality. Now, whether you think of it as a universal law or just a really powerful psychological tool, the takeaway is the same. What you focus on really, really matters. So the only question left is for you. What future are you going to start imagining today?